Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Tales from the Film Set, right here with Streampunk Entertainment. I am not Scott Churchson, as you can clearly see from. I know the glasses, the hair.
Wow.
It's similar but different. No, I'm your de facto host, Ryan O'Regan. With me, as always, is Rob Manning and Davion Bussey, and we are going to be talking July's cash or trash movies, which, let's face it, at this point, it's more of a question of what is going to be Inside Out 2. But we got 5 movies on the docket that are going to go ahead and try to take the crown away from those angry, fearful, happy, sad little buggers. But guys, how are you so far?
I'm great.
I got the red cup.
Oh, you got a red cup.
And I just got to say that it feels amazing that Inside Out 2 is doing so great right now.
Surprisingly great.
Yes.
And it's great. I think next weekend it's going to hit $1 billion. If it goes the right, because in 2 weekends, it already passed every single movie for this year.
It is possible. It is possible. And it's really not going to have any competition until, I'd say, next weekend.
Yes.
Not this coming one.
When the one movie we're going to talk about comes out. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, we've got 5 movies that we're going to be talking about. Some ready for your 4th of July, barbecuing and drinking, and however you want to celebrate America, there'll be a way to celebrate America.
America!
Hell yeah! I have to say hell yeah because I can't because Rob's right there.
Yeah. America!
I'm a little more sensitive to Rob's, let's say particulars.
You do whatever you want to do.
I get that from you, Rob. I can do whatever I want.
It's a freedom.
Yeah. Freedom of speech.
Fuck yeah. Come on. All right.
I mean, it's appropriate for you to say that, especially with one of the movies that we will be talking about that will have multiple F-bombs.
Yes, we will. Possibly going to be trying to go up against Wolf of Wall Street for the record on that. But yes. We are going to be talking, and let me put up the little icon here because I finally uploaded it onto the screen. There we go. Come on. Go on. Play. Oh, Jesus. There it is. Nothing's frozen.
Yeah.
Ryan's frozen.
Yes, he is.
This would be a good time to save you 15% or more on your car insurance.
Rob, not at the moment. Not at the moment, Rob.
And this is why I decided to record and not go live.
Oh, I thought we were...
smart move.
Why are you being a dick? Why are you such a dick? Why? Why are you piece of... Ooh. Why? Ooh, okay, there.
So are we live or not live?
No,
hold on. Let me just... Okay, it shows up better in his corner. Okay.
Yeah, because Cash and Trash looks good where I'm at.
Yes.
Oh.
But I really should make that bigger. I really didn't. Is there a way to change the parameters on this thing? Recommended size 200 by 200.
Your wall.
I know it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me go ahead and try that again.
It looks like it's plastered to your wall.
Oh. All right. So first, I just like this setup better.
Okay.
Because it's Cash and Trash time. Yeah, it's good that he doesn't post the things that I give him for Christmas on his wall, so this way it's nice and blank, so I can put up icons.
Oh, he's straight. He loves throwing shots at me. Like he loves throwing shots at me.
Oh, I'm like Kendrick Lamar. I'm like Hawk 2 girl, and it's like, don't get in my way. Don't make me start now. All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus. I was like, oh god.
Now, first movie on the docket, it is going to be Despicable Me 4. Cannot believe we're doing 4 of these. It's not even that it's 4. It's just Despicable Me 4. We're not counting the other 2 Minions movies.
Right.
Definitely sixth movie in the franchise.
Well, and you had the miniseries.
Just accept it. Right? Just accept it.
Look, Minions are just here to stay, regardless of whether or not you like them. But
right.
The franchise has certainly endured over the years. The budget for this is no different than the kind that you would normally get for a Despicable Me movie, usually somewhere between 65 to 80 million. And they just pull in money, especially last year when it played in around the 4th of July weekend, much like this one will be doing. So, guys, what are your thoughts on Despicable Me 4? And is it going to be cash or trash?
I'll start.
Okay.
Despicable Me, you can't go wrong. I'm sorry. It's going to be cash. You can't go wrong. It's a children's movie. Just like Inside Out, this is going to be another banger.
Well, yeah, I think that's obviously the big thing here. Will this be enough to topple Inside Out 2 once it comes in the theaters in 2 weeks? Mind you, it's already been out for 2 weeks, Inside Out 2, and it has 1 more week to go. And I don't think Quiet Place prequel is going to really take away much money from it, so it's still going to do pretty well. But will this be enough to topple it?
I don't know. I'm not saying no, but I'm not trying to say yes. But it will make more money from what they make in their budget. So I will say cash. But as far as it's going against Inside Out, I don't know. I'm not saying no because I'm not going to be Rob. Rob is saying no, but this one, I'm sorry because there is a huge fan base and people do like Despicable Me, just like they like Inside Out. So, early topple, I don't know. This is a hard to tell moment, but I will say it will be cash. It will make his budget and more.
Hey, Ryan, is it possible to pull up the budget from Despicable Me 3?
I can bring it up, sure. I'll find out while you're talking.
Okay, so while you look that up, so my question is, how do they have the rights to do the whole Marvel superheroes? Because clearly that's the thing.
Well, it's not necessarily Marvel superheroes. It's just superheroes. Now the minions some minions are going to get superhero powers.
But that's clearly the thing.
It's not clearly the thing. It's just
here's the thing. Here's
a lot of rock.
And then the other one having the stretchy arms like Mr. Fantastic, and then having the eyes shooting out like Scott Summers. I think there's a lot of copyright infringements there, and I don't know how they got away with that because they're not Disney.
Because Illumination is a part of Disney.
No, they are not. Disney does not own this company.
They don't?
No, I looked it up earlier.
This is a Universal property.
This is a Universal property.
Man, my bad. And I don't know.
So that's that's only my big thing, because when I went and saw Inside Out 2 in theaters, which was a great movie, I went and saw it, and they had this trailer playing, and when I saw the superheroes, it kind of threw me off, because I'm like, one, they don't really have the rights to use. Yes, you can use superheroes, but when you're clearly the thing's color is blue and yellow, blue and the orange, and it's got it looking like, people know that's the thing. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know. You're right. It's gonna unfortunately make cash. I don't know I know Ryan's looking for the budget on the third one.
The budget for the third Despicable Me movie was only around 80 million. And it went to a $1 billion movie in the year of 2017. Now, of course, mind you, it was 2017 back then, And there was the Minions Rise of Gru movie, which was decent, but middled in compared to the actual Despicable Me
So the
movie.
third one made $1 billion? Holy crap.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, Ryan, Rob,
I still don't think this is going to pass. I definitely know this ain't going to pass Inside Out.
So, Rob, you want to make that bet that it may...
I know 100% sure this movie's not going to pass Inside Out in box office.
You want a dollar bet moment?
Yeah.
Oh,
a dollar bet. A dollar bet.
Now, here's the thing. I might have to throw my dollar in with Rob. Because here's the thing about Despicable Me. It is a long-standing franchise, yes, but the kids that originally loved Gru and the Minions and all that, those kids have grown up.
Right.
The material hasn't. This is still an audience demographic that is looking at lowest common denominator, get the kids in the seats and entertain them for a little while the parents do fuck all with whatever. So, whereas something like Inside Out 2, while I even was skeptical about the movie considering Disney's trajectory as of late,
right,
the story, the plot line, the acting, a lot of it matured with its audience, especially considering the stretch between the first and the second one.
Right.
So, right. So this is a movie that I'd say maybe some people are. It's probably going to end up kind of being like the Transformers franchise eventually, where when you do the same stuff every time, regardless of whether or not it makes money, you do have diminishing returns. So while I do think it's going to be cash, I don't see it beating Inside Out, especially with the rate that Inside Out 2 has been just blowing away everything this year so far.
Right, and that's insane to do it in 2 weekends.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Did you have it on a holiday weekend?
Huh?
You have it on a holiday weekend. So while there are going to be lots of kids that are going to be going and seeing it 4th of July weekend, there's also going to be a lot of other stuff going on 4th of July weekend.
Right.
Unless you're here in the New York New City area where you just want to stay in the air conditioning all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's been really hot out here as well.
So I mean, going into a cool theater helps.
Yeah. Hot time, summer in the city, back in my neck, getting dirty, gritty.
It's insane what Inside Out's doing. The fact that it passed every single movie in 2 weekends is still mind-blowing to me. It's the Mario of last year.
It really is. And I think even more so because I don't think there was necessarily the fanfare for this movie as there was for Mario back when it came out last year.
Yeah.
That had a lot of expectation to it.
Right.
Everyone else, it's like it's a Pixar sequel. You know, you don't expect much from the Pixar sequels.
And everybody's eating it up, so kudos. But with this movie, yes, obviously it's gonna get the 140 million. Does shock me that it did get $1 billion, but at the same aspect, it doesn't because 2017 is a whole different story than now because you had movies making a bunch of money in the box office. Didn't matter what it was, as long as it was like an animation movie, But with the whole COVID thing, when that hit, that killed the box offices and stuff. So, and prices are twice to double what they used to be back then. So
right. So it becomes the question: do you want to go ahead and see this movie for as much as it's going to cost to take the family to see this movie, when the humor and the jokes are no different than what you already probably have on streaming and DVD?
And now they're trying to go with the trend. Oh, we have superheroes now.
Which at this point seems a little dated.
Yeah, I think that was trying to be a cash stunt to be like, oh, well, if we throw superheroes that people are going to recognize, they may come see the movie just because they see one of their favorite superhero lookalikes, as minions. And
now, I should note, technically, Despicable Me 4 has already been released overseas.
I saw
and
that
it has
was
gotten at least a good 9
and-
million from that alone.
right.
So if the 70 million budget is to be believed, it's already on its way,
Yeah.
and it hasn't even hit the U.S. yet.
Like I said, it'll make its money. I just don't think it's going to be your number. I don't think it's going to pass Inside Out 2. The only movie that I see to pass Inside Out 2 this summer is one that we're going to talk about later in today's review.
Yeah, let's fucking go. But before we get to that movie, we do have to move on to our next one, which is also going to be coming out 4th of July weekend, but it's going to be for a much different audience.
Yes.
And that is going to be Maxine. Now, this is the third installment in Ty West's X trilogy, which started a couple of years ago with X and Pearl, both of these starring Maya Goth. And, of course, Maya Goth reprises her role as Maxine from the first movie. And now, I couldn't necessarily get a budget on this, but I can say that both X and Pearl were only $1 million in budget. And cumulatively, the two of them have made about $25 million. So this feels like it's going to be an easy cash, regardless of how many people are actually probably going to go ahead and see this, just because they've done the horror thing that you see nowadays, where just do it well, do it for cheap.
And pretty much, I really seen the two sequels to each other. It was really good, especially the first. What was it? The first one was Max. What was? I forgot.
That was
the one with, that's the one with Kid Cudi, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that was really good. The second one was really good as well because it elaborates and explains everything. So to me, do I feel as though this is going to make his budget? Yes, and a little bit more. So I will say cash on this one. If you're a horror fan, if you're into slashers, and Clone, it's a new direction where they're doing this because they're basically bringing it to Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. They're putting Hollywood.
Yeah, this kind of feels like it's a movie that's already been done before, especially with the 80s aesthetic that they're giving it. Mm-hmm. It feels like something like Angel or, Vice Squad or, something of those natures where it was kind of like that B cinema, scantily clad women, a slight suspense story, whether it's slasher or something. It feels very of the time, but it does feel also like the right way to wind up what we've gotten from the other two movies, which in themselves were kind of like harkening back to elder times of like film and cinema and entertainment.
Right.
So if the 80s is the swan song, they're doing it right.
Correct.
Now, Rob, I know this may not necessarily get played over in your theater.
It won't.
And you're not into this.
I was going to say, I already, I sent you the screenshot. Those were the only movies that were going to be shown in July. That screenshot I showed in the group chat. I have no idea what this is.
So wait, you never saw the other two?
Yeah, he never did.
Nope, never even heard of it. It doesn't come out.
So Scott, not Scott. So Ryan,
hold on. I don't need.
No. Let me talk.
Don't need know anything about this. I'm just gonna say cash because the other two I'm hearing that made cash with a budget this low. It's gonna be at some theaters. We'll just give it cash and we can move on.
Well, no, I'm assuming on the budget because, mind you, as opposed to the other two movies, the cast for this movie is stacked. Not only do you have Maya Goth, well, no, hold on. Not only do you have Maya Goth, you got Elizabeth Debicki, you got Michelle Monaghan, you got Bobby Cannavale, you got Lily Collins, you got Halsey, Jersey's own Halsey, you got Giancarlo Esposito, you got Kevin frickin' Bacon.
Okay, so it's going to be more than $5 million budget if you're going to have Giancarlo Esposito and you're going to have Kevin Bacon. Now, those two names alone...
It's possible. I mean, I don't think they necessarily would have greenlit the first two for $1 million and then shot the other one to 20.
Yeah.
But
well,
I would say even if it's 10 million, even if it's 10, I can still see it making money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, with Giancarlo Esposito and him being the big name he is now, and I see his lines at conventions and stuff. Yeah, I could see. Yeah, it's gonna be Cash with Kevin Bacon and those two alone. So we'll give it a
Yeah,
green
even
light.
if that goes ahead and inflates it by
I'm not
10
gonna
times
see
the
it.
amount.
I'm not gonna see it. But Cash.
Well, Rob, what would it take to, I don't know, maybe set up like a private viewing room or something, and we get you to watch at least the first two because those are obviously easier to stream off of Amazon Prime, to get you to watch X and Pearl.
I want to meet the hot tip girl.
What? What he
Spit
said?
on that thing.
No, you do not want to meet that woman. No, you sweet summer child. No,
What he
No.
say?
he,
What he
he
say?
wants to meet Hawk too.
Oh,
Rob, you and you look. I ain't man enough to stand Hawk too. All right, I probably wilt a little bit. All right, no, you can't.
No,
No, I'm thinking of you. All right.
we care about you, Rob.
he's only 7 hours away from me.
Rob, we care.
That's a few hours too close.
Yeah.
What?
But Rob, I got something to say. We care.
This is not SpongeBob. You can't use your imagination.
No, but it's we care.
All right, but let's move on. So we also Cash.
Yes, we say Cash and
Yeah, we
no
all say
Hawk too.
yeah.
No.
Hawk 2.
No.
Spit on that thing.
No.
All right. Speaking of romance. All right. So now we also have Fly Me to the Moon, the romantic comedy starring Channing Tatum and Scarlett Johansson.
Is it based on the song?
Now, I don't know if it's necessarily based on the song, but I definitely think it's based on the whole race thing. Because basically, for those who maybe not have seen the trailer, Channing Tatum is handling NASA and the Apollo 11 space launch. And apparently, Scarlett Johansson plays like a big-time marketing person who is here to sell the space race to America. And in the event that they can't get the ship up, she is in charge of filming a fake landing for publicity. Now, whether or not this is taken on truth or not, I don't know. But it's Channing and Scarlett. They're just too beautiful people.
Is this gonna be like a PG movie, an R movie, PG-13 movie?
PG-13.
I believe it's PG-13 at most. Let me just double check.
Okay. I will say it's crazy. Like me looking from a distance, I would not be able to tell you that's Channing Tatum. I understand because it's darkened, but I would think that's Ben McKenzie from Gotham.
No, that's Channing Tatum. And to be honest,
obviously it is, but I could see also as a replacement would have been Ben McKenzie.
And I'm gonna say this to the audience.
Yes, it is. It is PG-13, and it is being directed by Greg Berlanti, who, if any of you are in the superhero genre, you know the name Berlanti.
Mm-hmm.
Responsible for Arrow, for Flash, for pretty much the whole CW verse.
Actually, he started in Smallville first.
That's true. Yes, but pretty much anything CW, WB oriented.
Yeah,
that was him.
All right.
Yes.
So I'm going to give you my results right now. Y'all ready?
Go ahead.
Yep.
As much as I like these two people, Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum, and I love the concept, it's something I probably will watch. Probably in IMAX.
Okay.
But 100 mil, I'm going to say trash.
Oh.
Only because it's one of those films that it's one of those wannabe documentaries, but it is a documentary type film, and I don't think
it's based on a true story.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I don't think it's going to reach its budget basis of stardom or the story, and it's not possible. And I'm just feeling that 100 mil is kind of pushing it. They may hit it. I'm not saying they may not, but at this moment, I'm really going to say trash because films like this doesn't make it. Make them either they make their money back or they make a good portion of it back. But it won't be cash. It's going to be trash.
Rob, what's your thought?
I think you are capped, Jay. Sorry, but I got to disagree with you because based on true stories and stuff like that, always do good in box office. And let's hear me out. This is perfect to have this coming out 4th of July weekend because you can plan a date night. You go send your kids to Inside Out or Minions, and then you go have date night with this movie. It's going to be the perfect time for it to come out because you can go send your kids to the one theater and you go to the other theater, and 100 mil, that's not asking too much. Yes, you've got, and I mean, the reason why the budget's 100 mil is just your top two actors are higher actors. Scarlet Witch or Scarlett Johansson has a huge following. So does Channing Tatum. I wish this was going to be in my theaters. This is not in my theaters. If it ends up being one that's nearby, I may try to go see it. But I say cash. I think it's not asking too much for a summer. Because here's the thing about this summer is you don't have a lot of more adult films that don't have to be rated R per se. Maybe not everybody wants to go see Inside Out 2, and Minions and stuff. This is more of an adult film. And like I said, good date night movie. So cash.
Just to add to what Rob said, told me a cap. You don't even know what the definition of cap is.
Yes, sir, I do.
No, you don't. All right, so Ryan, you're go.
Cap means lying.
All right, before a war starts out between you two. I mean, okay, so $100 million budget, $200 million after marketing. It is feasible. It is feasible. Again, only for the fact that because of what Rob said, between Inside Out 2, between Quiet Place origin story, whatever they're calling it, I forget. And then you have Minions, and then you have Maxine, and then you have this. This does fill a niche that is definitely not being covered by anything else that'll be out in the theater at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And considering it's going to be summertime, I could see this being something that maybe an older date movie might go to. Maybe like people in like 30s, 40s. I don't know if your 20s are going to come and see this. But yeah, no, I could definitely see it. Again, may not happen immediately. But I think throughout the rest of the summer, this will definitely make its money back. So it's a tentative cash for me.
Because it's at the beginning of the month, is going to help it extremely. Now, if it was the weekend before the next one of the next movies we're about to talk about, that'd be a whole different story.
Well, that's to be fair. I mean, this is going to come right after 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, this is first weekend, right? July 6th or whatever?
Well, second weekend of July this comes out. First weekend is 4th of July weekend. That's when you get Minions and Maxine.
Right.
Then this comes out the weekend following.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, still, it's still 2 weeks before the other movie, so I think it still has potential to grow to the 100 or 200 mil before the other movie dominates the box office. But
Right.
So,
And it'll definitely depend on how it plays out with couples and with the female demographic, as well as how it's going to necessarily play overseas, considering this is a very America-based story.
So,
but
now,
you've had overseas movies that were American-based do really good too.
yes, but there's also another American-based movie that's coming up the week after this, which I'm going to tell you right now, I am not necessarily as confident about.
So 2 cash,
and that's
1
going to
trash.
be
Player thing. Right, Ryan? 2 cash, 1 trash?
Yes.
Yeah, this is trash.
Now, this movie...
This is trash.
I
didn't even hesitate.
As a person that just met Helen Hunt, this is trash.
Oh, that's why you're saying it. Okay.
This is trash. Now, if you were bringing back original cast members and doing, because this is supposed to be technically a sequel, it even says that's why it's Twisters. If you were bringing back the original, I understand you can't bring everybody because Bill passed away, but you could still bring Helen. Helen, is still, good actress and stuff and looks amazing. You could bring back original cast, but with this, I don't think anybody was asking for this movie, and 2, it's gonna be trash. And 200 mil, so it has to make 400 mil. You insane?
Yeah, that's my issue with it, because obviously they're going to be relying a lot more on the CGI this time around than they did with the original.
Twisters, I'll go to Oklahoma.
Okay, Ryan, your point of view?
I mean, I do have to agree. This really feels like a movie that no one asked for. The only thing this movie has going for it is Glenn Powell. Because as of right now, Glenn Powell is like the new it boy in Hollywood. And rightfully so. He's charming, charismatic. He's got a strong acting repertoire, even if it is mostly douche guy does good. But yeah, it's like I don't see anything in this movie that's going to make me think differently about, oh, I wonder if they make it out alive. I wonder if they make it through the Twisters, plural. This is one of those movies where it's like, you have to really be invested in the CGI that's going to be used for this movie. You have to really want to see it to see how they do up the tornadoes, even though something as natural as a tornado by today's computer-generated graphics plans, it's nothing. A Twister is nothing. Oh, they set one on fire. Big whooping deal. We got that from Fantastic Four back in the day. This is not appealing to my... Look, call me a snob if you want. Maybe it's my Eastern city living sort of mentality, but like, who's going to care about this? And for $200 million, $400 million on the back end after promote, there is no way this thing is kissing 400. Day. He's rocking back and forth. He doesn't know what to say about it.
This was a film that was done back in when I was growing up as a kid. Yes, did it
1996 was the original.
Yeah. The movie scared me to death as a child.
Scared you?
Yes.
Really?
I think that
was the point of the, because you didn't know, because you know how twisters were, you know how tornadoes and hurricanes were. And growing up, having family down in the South, it was traumatizing.
Yeah.
Now that they make a sequel, because I didn't know if they was redoing it or was this a sequel. Now that y'all clarified that this is a sequel,
I was told it was a sequel. It's like supposed to be like a That's what I've seen. You guys can look that up. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a sequel.
This is an in-name only sequel to Twister. According to reports, the story will be entirely new and updated to today's methods and technology of tornado hunting, with no returning character. So
yeah. So
the only thing a sequel about it is the fact they put an S at the end of the title.
Yeah. Okay.
And their whole like kind of look at the posters like the first one too.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, no. It's in name only. There's no characters connected. There's no branding. It's pretty much cut, paste, repeat.
Yeah.
So my point is with this, was this a sequel that we needed? No. Do this fan base? Do they have a fan base? Yes. As quiet as it's kept. Yes. Because after seeing this in the theater, I saw the poster. There were people that were saying, yo, I got to go see this based off the special effects. I want to know how they're going to basically do these tornadoes or hurricanes in this film. I'm like, y'all say trash. I don't know.
You better not go cash.
I don't know, bro.
No, if you go cash, it's his choice to go cash. But
yeah,
well,
I will repeat, $200 million.
That's the thing that's killing me because they do have a fan base.
Okay,
but is it strong enough to make $400 million plus at the box office?
Is it strong enough to make $400 million on a month that you already have other movies that are coming out that are?
I'm going to say trash. I want to say trash.
Yeah.
Only reason is no. Let me finish. The only reason I'm saying trash is because the other movie that we have on the list, and if it, Lord,
it's gonna make the most money this summer.
That's what I'm saying. This movie,
it's placed in a bad timing.
Exactly. If they would have did it in August, maybe.
Well, no. What would have been a good time, and just hear me out real quick, if you would have put this out around April/May during the time of actual tornado season. You know, people do like watching tornadoes. You know, that's, to be honest, being out here, anytime we had a tornado, instead of going inside, people would just sit on their porch. People do like, and I mean, tornadoes are bad, don't get me wrong. But
that's the other thing. I would almost say that most of the insensitivity factor if you would have put the movie out at that time, because then when people are actually suffering through the season, you're going to go ahead and put a movie out in the theaters. Half those theaters probably got sucked up by the tornadoes and they can't go see the movie.
Right.
But I'm just saying, if you would have put this out during tornado season, this could have been a cash thing. I'm just saying, because, you know,
audience, I didn't say it. This guy said it.
I'll take it.
This guy said it. If you're a person, a victim of tornadoes, this guy said it. I had nothing to do with it.
Because the first one that came out, that obviously was a really great movie, gave you more of awareness of what tornadoes can actually do. Mm-hmm. For the people that don't get tornadoes, you know, it gives you more of awareness, you know. And so a movie about tornadoes during a time could help people prep more about tornadoes. I'm just saying, it's
no.
People, it's a stretch in a way, but like I said, I understand that makes me a little unsensitive, but I'm just saying it could have worked. You putting it in a month of July that already has other things that are previously making money right now. You have other things coming out, like the next movie we're about to talk about. It doesn't stand a chance.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Like
now,
that's why.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like it's poor time.
Yeah,
like, this is definitely something that it could have played like last year during Barbenheimer season, and I think it would have done better.
Yeah,
but I think right now
Yeah.
I'm just not feeling it.
Right.
And with how much money it is to go to the movies, why does anybody want to go spend $30 to $50 to go watch a movie of CGI tornadoes?
Right. You can sit on your porch and watch it for free, or even better,
Exactly.
use your money to donate it to funds that help people that have suffered from tornadoes.
Exactly.
Which I'm sure Rob knows plenty of them.
Right.
I mean, actually, back in 2009, we had a massive tornado right next door to my town that destroyed the entire town right next. So I'm well aware what tornadoes can do. Thank
How
God
dare
it
you
didn't hit
out
my
a movie
town.
in this year?
What?
No.
And
I'm
actually,
just
there was a tornado that hit my yard last month, actually.
Okay.
Tore up all my trees. But
All
anyway,
right. Enough about tornadoes.
This is starting to sound sad. I'm starting to feel bad for Rob here.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next great movie that
Well, okay. Our final movie, if you don't know, you should know.
And if you,
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, MCU fans of all ages,
wait,
let's
go! Deadpool and Wolverine, baby!
You censored me.
I'm sorry.
well, we have to.
I know, but they have it in their marketing. Come on.
I mean, you're
Let's
right.
fucking go.
There we
LFG.
All right, that's the only F5 we can throw.
Now, let me collect my decorum here.
BFFs for life.
Yes. Possibly the most anticipated movie of the year. Deadpool and Wolverine. The trailers have not disappointed. The plot is still a little sketchy. We know bits and pieces, and that's how you should leave it because this is going to be full of surprises.
Mm-hmm.
However, $250 million budget, which means it has to make 500 or more to break even. Now, I will note a $250 million budget is more than the first two Deadpool movies combined.
But there's a difference.
Yes, a big Australian difference.
Yeah.
Australian playing Canadian difference.
Yeah.
But
because I'm a Deadpool
fan,
I gotta talk.
All right. I just want to make the point here.
Okay.
We are not talking about whether or not the movie will be popular because we already feel the movie will be popular. We're not saying whether or not it's going to be good or bad. We're simply saying whether or not this is going to meet the financial responsibilities that it needs to meet.
Yeah.
And Marvel, as of late, has not been good about this. That being said, Davion, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know I'm a huge Deadpool fan. I'm a huge Ryan Reynolds fan. Hugh Jackman, I'm cool with. Him as Wolverine, but having those dynamics together is like, I gotta keep it PG, don't I?
Keep it PG.
To an extent.
I mean, technically,
we already only recording, so we can always like throw something in there. Like
I was gonna say, if Scott doesn't like it, he can cut it.
Think of the greatest wedding of all time, and you're invited, and you're like sobbing in tears because you're witnessing it, and you're witnessing with your own eyes. This is that film. Like, you're like, I wanted this my whole life.
Kind of like how Doctor Strange wanted Christine.
What?
What was that, Rob?
Wedding. I was saying you were talking about weddings. I was like, just like how Doctor Strange wanted Christine, and he didn't get her.
No.
Sorry, that was a shot at.
No.
That was not a great wedding.
Yeah, that wasn't a great wedding.
That was a.
But anyway, this is the film that we all, and I mean not just me, not just the millenniums, not just the Gen X's, not just the Gen Z's. Everybody's been waiting for this their whole entire lives. They've been waiting for this. It's just like pure, can I touch? It's like the touch, the glow. This is that film. People are dying to see this movie. And right now, I know they are sold out in theaters right now because they did a pre-sale for the tickets. Am I right, Ryan?
They did. The pre-sale has gone very well.
They're all sold out. All theaters are sold out. I don't think that's true.
Okay. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the dynamics. What's going to basically be the icing on the cake of this film is the cameos.
Yeah.
The cameos. Whether it's Marvel comic characters or celebrities that we wanted to play those characters. That's going to be...
Yes, Channing Tatum as Gambit, yes.
Shut up! It's going to be... God. Should I do it, Ryan? Should I do it?
Hold on. I'll give you the platform. Hold on.
It will be glorious. Glorious. I will defend Notorious.
Okay, and he starts doing that. I'm like, no.
Okay, let's get the
we
camera
won't
off.
be doing that. No. I want to hear your.
Oh, well, I'd like us to go back.
All right. Do you want Dave back? Do you want Dave back in case he starts singing again?
We can say,
Take me off. Did you just take me off?
It's that kind of meta commentary you can expect from the movie.
Yes. Okay. So before I start, Dan, I'm guessing you're saying cash, correct?
For God's sakes, yes.
Okay. So that's yes. Okay. So I am at the same boat of it's going to be 100% cash. I understand 250 is a lot of money, and I understand it needs to make 500 million. I expect this movie to make $1 billion with no problem. I have a feeling that this is going to be the Barbie of last year that's going to pass an animation movie like Inside Out.
It better.
What?
It better.
Wow.
Oh, well. Jeez. Well, we can agree to disagree on that. But anyways, but yeah, so this movie, you're right. There's supposed to be a lot of cameos. Now, that can either hurt or help this movie. And the reason why I say that is because if all the rumors that we heard end up not being true at all, that could hurt the movie. You know, people are expecting to see people from the Fox universe. We are expecting to see cameos of, like we said, Channing Tatum as Gambit. I mean, he's been supposed to be that character, what, for like the last 15 years?
I gotta say something. I gotta say something.
Go ahead and say something, Dave.
If Taylor Swift is not Lady Deadpool, I can accept Ryan. I can accept Ryan Reynolds' wife. But
yeah,
if
they already confirmed,
we don't know, it was not confirmed. We don't know yet.
Yes, it was. It's already been confirmed that it's Blake Lively.
Okay.
That was
regardless of the cameos.
Well,
let us not try to spoil the movie before it comes out here.
I know.
Come on.
Well, I'm just saying there has been a lot of confirms on that. But anyways, well, speaking of spoilers, I mean, anybody should know what we're saying. That yes, it could be confirmed and then not be in the movie. So I mean, it's not really spoilers until we actually see the actual movie itself. But I'm okay with her. I don't want her to be Lady Deadpool because I want them to bring Dazzler in. And I want Taylor Swift to be Dazzler. Now, there's rumors that Taylor Swift's not in this movie. I think she is. And if she ends up being in this movie, it's going to be a whole different story because you're gonna have all the Swifties, but hopefully the older Swifties and not the younger Swifties coming to see this movie. Or Taylor may end up, because this movie being rated R, may have been like, oh well, most of my fans are 13-year-old girls, so maybe I shouldn't be in this movie. I don't know. We'll see. But regardless, it's going to hit that 500 million. Now the question is when. Is it going to hit it the first weekend? Is it going to hit it the second weekend? Is it going to be something that's going to take all summer? I think it should hit it by second weekend. Depending on how actual good it is and how, like you said, most box offices are already being sold out first weekend. I think it should be able to make it in 2 weekends, kind of like Inside Out did. But that's just my opinion, and I am excited for this movie, and I will be seeing opening weekend on Friday. So, but yeah, this is going to be the movie, and this is why Twister does not stand a chance.
Yes. Yes, when you brought that up, I thought about it, and I was like, yes.
It's like you've got this movie that's going to, and I kind of feel bad for ending August's. I know we're not talking about August yet, but this movie is at the end of July, which is going to go into the beginning of August and going to affect other movies in August. That's something to look forward to next month. And when we talk about August's cash or trash, but I'm just saying we got to put that in perspective too.
Can I put down one suggestion? I don't think it's going to hit $1 billion.
Yeah, you could put that. Rob's calling it on the show.
I'm calling. No. Let me hear me out. I'm calling it 1.5 billion.
Oh,
it's gonna break records.
It's very possible that this movie will not break $1 billion. Now, a lot of people have been speculating that it should, simply based upon the goodwill of Ryan Reynolds and because you do have Hugh Jackman one last time playing Wolverine. However, it should be noted that the other 2 Deadpool movies, even with their modest budgets, only got as high as about the high 700s, around 780 for both films. But none of them crossed 800 million. None of them hit $1 billion.
But
and certainly the same can also be said for many of the X-Men movies, too.
But there's a difference.
With the exception of maybe Logan. I think maybe Logan might have gone close to it.
Didn't Logan hit $1 billion?
I think it might have. But again, that was because you were also seeing the swan song of Hugh Jackman as the character. So that was like a riding off into sunset moment, and possibly a well-crafted movie as well as just being a comic book movie. Whereas Deadpool, as much as I have loved the movies, it is the same gag over and over. It's almost like Minions.
But the gag works compared to Minions.
I think
that's the thing. I mean, this is Ryan Reynolds' vision, backed by Marvel, backed by Disney. There is the possibility of, again, the whole too many cooks spoil the broth sort of mentality, especially in regards to Disney handling of Marvel properties as of late. Now, a lot of people have said this is going to be the movie that writes the MCU. This is Deadpool's the one to come to fix it. He is Marvel Jesus. Whether or not that'll be true, I don't know. But I also don't think it's probably feasible for a movie that costs this much and really only has like 2 mainstay stars as opposed to the entire MCU, like something like Infinity War and Endgame had, to take it over that 1 billion benchmark. It'll do fine. It will definitely be cash. But $1 billion? I don't know. I can't say for sure. I can't say that for sure.
So are you saying cash?
I know I'm the one proclaiming Summer of Ryan, hashtag Summer of Ryan.
You better claim Summer of Ryan.
Well, we're getting into this shit. I get it. I am the one claiming Ryan. I get that. I get it. But I am also very practical.
Well, you also didn't think that Inside Out would do good with it being 200 million. Just saying.
Yes, but that's also a different demographic. That's younger audiences, teen audiences, family movies, and it's not R-rated.
Well, the other
R
problem
rates
is
are already hard to sell.
You're comparing this movie to the other two, and I think that's not fair when this is now with a different studio.
Right.
You're able to do more funding and stuff with Marvel than you may have been able to do with Fox. I mean,
Facts.
yes, I understand it made $700 million, but you also didn't bring any shock factor for it to make over 700 million. I'm not saying Deadpool 2 wasn't good, because it was a good movie.
And I was at the premiere.
Than the first. But, this one, bringing Hugh Jackman and with Logan making $1 billion on its own, and everybody excited as soon as Hugh Jackman came, when they did that little thing, Ryan says, hey Hugh, or Ryan says, hey Hugh, you want to be the next Deadpool? And he's like, sure, Ryan. That broke the internet. That alone. I think there's no way this movie shouldn't make $1 billion. If this movie don't make $1 billion, then I think we've lost hope in Marvel movies. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. This is going to be the maker.
Listen to what you just said. If this movie does not make $1 billion, we've lost hope in Marvel movies.
Yes.
My God.
I agree with him. I agree.
Because that's why this is the only Marvel movie of this year. This is the only Marvel movie we're getting this year is Deadpool 3, and it's for a reason.
It's the only Marvel movie because they realize after the last 3 or 4 they need to restructure some shit.
And they
need the right things.
You're putting a movie that's rated R that's going to make $1 billion. I'm calling it now, but I need to know from you, Ryan, because I know you don't think this movie is making $1 billion. Do you think it's going to be cash?
It's absolutely going to be cash, but
okay,
I would be happy if it just made as much as the other 2 Deadpool movies.
It's going to make more, but don't worry.
Yes, it's going to make more.
Because depending on what cameos there are in this movie, people will go see this movie 3 to 5 to 7 times just for the cameos alone.
Cameos and Easter eggs.
Yes.
I
saw No Way Home like 3 or 4 times in theaters because of how good
we got to do the touch for Deadpool.
Oh, that's just disturbing on my screen.
And the popcorn buckets alone.
Yeah, those popcorn buckets look official. Matter of fact, can you pull that up?
I am not pulling up the popcorn bucket.
Pull up the popcorn bucket.
I refuse to pull up the popcorn bucket. All right.
Pull up
only if we have Scott.
You can bring up the popcorn bucket when you buy the popcorn bucket and you show it on camera.
Pull up the popcorn bucket. Pull up the popcorn
bucket.
Pull up the popcorn bucket.
No, not doing it.
Do it.
Not doing it.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Can't make me. No. No.
But anyway, so we got that amazing popcorn bucket that Ryan is being a wimp and not showing.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to show the greatest popcorn bucket of the year.
Yeah. What a chump.
But that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. We know you're a chump about it.
Award for you, Ryan. No.
I will give you the Ghostbuster bucket.
Anyway, folks. So, one more thing I wanted to touch on in regards to Marvel and Deadpool and Wolverine that I will bring the guys back. I'll bring them back in a second. Now that we've gone ahead and put our cash or trash in, obviously, there is another rumor that is going to be going around in regards to this movie about another character that's going to possibly be put into Deadpool and Wolverine. And that is possibly Mahershala Ali's Blade. Now, guys, I do have to say there is the possibility that Mahershala Ali's Blade will turn into this movie. But do you think he should be a cameo in this movie, considering they can't get down the making of his own movie at all.
It's not him. Did you not see that it's supposed to be the Blade from the TV show that was back in the day?
Yeah.
It's not going to be Sticky Fingers. They're not getting Sticky Fingers.
Yes. Did you not
If
see
they
the
get
trailer?
Wesley Snipes, I'm going to basically blow my lid
Did
off.
you not see the trailer that released recently where they slowed down and they showed the person that looks just like that version of Blade? Did you not see that recently? Okay, well that's what.
And chances are it's probably a fan film if they were using that, because that was not even proper Marvel.
I know what Rob is talking about. It's the part where they're right at the Ant-Man's helmet.
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It wasn't.
But those were all other villains from the X-Men universe. Those were all people that had been in the X-Men movies.
They're not all villains, though.
Those were all villains. You had Lady Deathstrike out there. You had Toad out there. You had what's his face with the fire out there.
After this live, I will send you the screenshot of what everybody is freaking out right now, and it does look a lot like the version of Blade.
It's not.
They need to bring Wesley. They need to bring Wesley Snipes.
Now, guys, this aside, the reason I'm bringing it up is because the reason I am so trepidatious about what Marvel is going to do with Deadpool and Wolverine is because, like I said, Marvel needs to right the ship. The MCU needs some retooling. And no more is that more evident than the production debacle that has been happening with the MCU's Blade movie that was first announced back in 2019 and has gone through a litany of issues. In fact, the good folks over at Screen Rant were nice enough to go ahead and break down the timeline of everything that's gone on since the announcement of Mahershala Ali in the character to date, and the fact that it's been pushed back to next year, which, whether or not that's actually going to happen, who knows. But I do want to go ahead and just run down this quick timeline with you, because I think it's very interesting to see what Marvel has to deal with just this one film. And thank you to Carlos Wild of for going ahead and putting up this article. Now, we go all the way to Comic-Con 2019, where Feige goes ahead and brings out Mahershala Ali as part of the project, which at the time they were originally thinking that it would be integrated more as a television show rather than a movie when they were first conceptualizing it. But because Ali became attached, that's when they wanted to do something bigger. Now, first of all, guys, what are your thoughts of Mahershala Ali being the Daywalker?
They should have just cast Wesley Snipes.
You realize how old Wesley Snipes is at this point, right?
And you realize how old Mahershala Ali is, too, right?
Yeah, but he looks good.
Okay.
Snipes was in jail. He didn't come out with a jail body.
How old is the actor that they have that they announced?
Mahershala? Hold on.
Yeah, isn't he in his 30s?
No.
40s? I don't think he's Wesley Snipes' age.
Let's see. Mahershala Ali was born in 74, so he's actually 50-something.
Oh, so he's 50.
And look
at how good he is for 50.
But look at Wesley Snipes.
Now, Wesley Snipes, on the other hand,
should be what, 70?
No.
60? He's in his 60s. At least.
He was born in 62.
Yeah. So that makes him what? 63 years old? 62?
62. He'll actually be 62 at the end of July 31st.
So he can still move.
Not as well as somebody who's younger and has been training.
And you also got to think, hold on, here's another thing. You also got to think, the guy is 50 now, the guy that we're talking about. But if they would have worked on this project back in 2019, 5 years ago, he would have only been 45.
Right.
And,
which,
you know,
if you're not necessarily going to go ahead and have somebody for a long haul, You don't need to cast younger.
Correct.
Yeah. Now the question is,
I mean-
I will never watch the movie because I refuse to, because I tried watching the first half and got out of it. Was it this version of Blade that we saw at the end of Internals?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It was Mahershala Ali in that voice.
That
With
movie was
Kit Harington as the Black Knight.
Yeah.
I wouldn't going to be Black Knight.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Do what?
That was the line.
Oh,
That's what he said. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like I
Because
said,
he was going to pick up the Ebony Blade.
I just know he's at the end of the trailer. I had never watched the scene. I just know, like I said, I never got through the Internals movie, so never really watched the scene. So, but, and what was that? That was 21, because that was the year of, that was right after No Way Home, or right before No Way Home.
Before it was before No Way Home.
It was right before my car wreck. But anyway, so timeline.
So in 2021, they had their first director and their first writer. They have, yeah. So around the pandemic, during the the time of the pandemic, that's when they started to at least do some work, even if they couldn't do any filming. So they went ahead and got Stacey Osei Kuffour from Watchmen, the Watchmen series that was on HBO, as well as Pen 15, which if you've never watched Pen 15 on Hulu, it's funny. I love it. So they got her to do the writing.
That's supposed to be a reference to what I think it's supposed to be a reference of?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Wait, what?
It's about being a teenager in the 90s.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Davion, you should know. Maya Erskine, the one from Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah.
She was on that before that. That was her show that she and her friend developed.
Oh, gotcha.
And they got the director Bassam Tariq, who was a relative unknown director at the time, but of course, Marvel has that history of getting lesser-known actors and giving them a spot to really flourish. And considering you had somebody who worked on Watchmen, putting them in a Blade movie kind of felt like a natural fit.
Okay. Yeah, I see.
And of course, like you said, Blade makes his first appearance in the MCU in the Eternals, talking to Kit Harington's Dane Whitman. So now there is some comic precedent to this, as both the Black and Blade have worked for MI13, which is pretty much Britain's paranormal police service.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a very good possibility that that's where it could have been set. If not in America, like we've seen with the other Blade movies, set something more in Europe. Maybe get some more natural Dracula, superstitious sort of stuff going on, which would make sense since we haven't seen much of that stuff except for Doctor Strange in the US.
Right.
Then filming plans get delayed in 2022, and the first director leaves the project. Now, mind you, Blade was originally supposed to be out November of last year. It was scheduled for filming in late 2022.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a lot of creative changes and dissatisfaction behind the scenes, which, of course, ends up delaying just the shooting of the film multiple times. And mind you, we're still in the midst of the pandemic, and this is only 2022. So we haven't gotten into 2023 yet, which there's going to be complications coming up with that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Bassam Tariq eventually stepped down from the project. It was stated that he was not due to artistic disagreement. Basically, production delays prohibited the director from staying attached to the project. Now, does that concern you guys at all when you hear about like a director leaving a project that they were already attached to?
Wait, hold on. Did you say the reason he left was because accommodation of autism, wasn't it? Did I hear that right?
Autism? No, I did not say autism. No, there was no autism.
Oh,
autistic.
Autism.
Disagreement. Not due to artistic disagreements, but simply production delays that prohibited.
I'm trying to get me canceled. Oh,
no, I was thinking Autistic, when you hear that, I'm thinking of the disability.
No, bro.
Sorry.
No, God, no. Jeez,
It's not gonna get me canceled.
don't make people at me.
Anyway,
But it was simply due to delays in productions. The director from staying attached to the project because of the fact that it was taking longer than planned because he had other projects.
I mean, you're wasting money. That's what's going on with this movie. Is it's taking too long, and therefore, yeah, directors don't want to stay on for 10 years for something that should have already been made. Yes, we had a pandemic in 1920, and some of 21 that affected hard. I get that, but it's like to be honest, Kevin should have never even announced them in 2019.
Well, it should be noted, Tariq is still on as an executive producer for the film, so he's still working on the film. But it's very possible that he probably just couldn't commit to the directorial aspect.
You do have a situation where, like we've said, he was announced in 2019, and like I said, he would have been 46 or whatever. Math not working, 45, whatever he would have been. Now he's 50, so he is getting older. So therefore, he may need more of a stunt double, can't do as much stuff, but he may. I'm not saying somebody 50 can't do that as long as you're keeping your body together and stuff. That's a whole different story. But the longer they wait on this movie, they're going to have to get a new actor.
Exactly.
And then you're never going to have it.
Well, we'll continue on with that. Now, Blade signs a second director and a new writer in late 2022. So this time, they have gone ahead and replaced him with the director, what's his name? Jan Demange, who was best known for their work on Lovecraft Country, another HBO, somewhat, I guess you'd say supernatural sort of thing. Everyone loved it, much the same way they loved Watchmen, but again, just one season and HBO accessed it. Marvel also hired another writer for the film, apparently moving on from Mosaic 4, as well as work from X-Men 97 scribe Bo DeMeo, and they brought on Michael Starbury to help rewrite and, I guess, work on the script that had already been established. Now, of course, with the introduction of a new writer and a new director, you have to go ahead and change everything that's going to go on. You can't just expect them to pick up from whatever was already being introduced and what is being thrown around prior. Because of that, shooting was rescheduled for summer 2023, and the release date was pushed back to late 2024, later this year.
So, question real quick, and I know we're doing the timeline. How does money work in that situation? Are these people still getting paid even though like all the stuff is keep getting scripted? Do the crew and stuff, they're still getting paid then? So, or do I have that
Crew
wrong?
gets paid when they work.
Right.
Right, but if they're, the writers, the ones that are making the scripts, do they get paid for that or they don't get paid until, how much money is already being wasted is what I'm trying to ask. At this point, is any money actually been wasted?
I would say money has to be wasted because this is not necessarily something that I think a lot of people would take lightly. You have to understand, when you are a writer or you are a director and you are attached to the project, there are contracts that get signed. And obviously, for a lot of people, some get paid up front, some get paid on the back end.
Right.
Rarely do you get something per week and say, okay, well, this will tide me over. Because otherwise, money would just be keeping getting lost and lost and lost, and people would waste their time getting things done.
Because it's already been at this point. We're in 23 right now in this timeline?
Yeah, so I have to figure maybe somewhere between I would say maybe $25 to $35 million. I'm just guesstimating. $25 to $35 million has probably already been wasted in production that has gone forward, that is now probably never going to get used. sets, costumes, lighting design, special effects that were being prompted and probably rendered. All that goes out the window to some extent because now you have to start from scratch.
Yeah.
And I also heard that the script was changed, if I'm not mistaken, to focusing on Blade, to focusing on a female.
Which is this is?
Getting to that, yes. Changes made to the script in 2023, production affected by the strikes. So, in April 2023, Pearl, X, and future Maxine star Maya Goth was added to the project to be the potential villain. And they also included actors like Aaron Pierre and Delroy Lindo, who I assume Delroy Lindo might have been like the Whistler of the movie, which I would have loved to have seen that. You've seen The Five Bloods? Yeah. You know what Delroy Lindo can do when you can put a gun in his hand. So I was looking forward to that. Now, originally, Maya Goth was rumored to be playing Lilith, the daughter of Dracula. And for those of you who play Midnight Suns, she's also the villain in that movie, which means a good amount of CG would probably be put on her. So at that point, it looked like, okay, they have a new script, they have a new idea, they're adding more cast, they're on their way. Then the strikes happened. And we talked about it ad nauseum on this show. We talked about the writer's strike. We talked about the actor's strike. We talked about SAG-AFTRA. We talked about Writers Guild. All of that. Screws up the whole works. And while the writer's strike is going on, another writer, Nick Pizzolatto, is on board to help Starbury with script writing so that this way something is at least getting done. But when you have another writer coming in to do touch-up on something that was already being written by somebody who already had to start from scratch from an original writer for the film, it's a bad look.
Right.
Now, obviously, because of everything that's gone on, Blade is pushed back to 2025. And, of course, rumors have started circling around the picture that it was going to be set in the 1920s. And other rumors state that the picture at the time being relegated to a background character. I don't know how you have Blade as a background character in his own damn film.
Right.
But the rumors were there. The MCU film writers denied this, but Ali was reportedly still dissatisfied with the direction of the film, which he had hoped to be more like Black Panther. Now, again, remind you, this was a movie that was originally just supposed to be idealized as a television series back when they were doing everything for Disney+. But because they got Ali, they wanted to make it a bigger deal. And here you have Ali. You have a match from 2019 to 2023. 4 years. Not even a trailer. And the star of your movie is dissatisfied.
Yeah.
You hear this. Aside from the fact that recently we had just heard that they just lost their next director. And aside from the fact that now Delroy Lindo, who, God bless him, he is now off the project. Maya Goth is still on. Delroy is off. Guys, is this movie ever going to happen?
No. It's going to be the Gambit of the universe.
Ooh.
I'm scratching my head.
I hate to say it, but I really, I mean, they've taken too long. And I was going to make a joke. The only way this movie's going to be done on time is if you had AI do the entire movie.
Oh, that's rough.
Or if they follow what I said, even if they don't put them in the film, have Wesley Snipes Wesley, he don't even have to be in. He just be the director.
No,
Wesley Snipes basically did Blade.
Well, yeah, because he's really the only person we saw besides obviously the show that was made right after. But we really haven't seen many versions of Blade. Yes, people relate to Blade because as well as Snipes because that was our first introduction to Blade as well, and it was a big success. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I'd like to see somebody else.
No, he's don't have to play the Blade. I'm saying he directs it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no.
That right there because I think it's cool.
This is what Hollywood's doing to Blade.
I really don't see this movie. I don't know. I don't think it'll ever come out. It's gonna be one of these things that just end up getting written off for a tax rate. Kind of like what DC did with the Batgirl movie.
Which I heard was really good.
Yeah,
that's what concerns me. Because the Fox was one thing when they were doing, their Marvel movies, and mind you, Blade wasn't even part of the Fox family. He was New Line Cinema, if you remember.
Yeah,
so he was a lot more independent at that point. But Blade is the character that got comic book movies going before X-Men, before Spider-Man. Blade was the OG. And all you had to do was keep it simple. A lot of vampires, some shiny blades to cut them with, and an actor that didn't have to do much talking. It worked.
Blade was the first superhero movie?
Well, not the first superhero movie. First Marvel superhero.
Yeah, first Marvel superhero
Well, the first successful Marvel superhero movie.
What year did Blade come out?
1996, if I'm not mistaken.
It was 96 or 97 because I know Spawn came out like the year after.
Yeah.
And then
Blade 2 and then Blade 3.
The movie didn't come out in 97?
Huh?
When did the first X-Men movie? Was that 99? Maybe that was 99.
No, the first X-Men movie came out like 2000.
I thought that was the second. I think the first one came out in 1999, if I'm not mistaken.
No, 2000.
Okay, well, whatever. You know what? We'll say all right.
Here's the thing. Marvel is going to put out Mahershala Ali as the character of Blade, come hell or high water. Whether or not it's going to be in his own film, I don't know at this point. I really don't. And in all honesty, I don't know if Blade needs his own film at this point.
Maybe a team up, but not his own film.
Well, again, they already alluded to something like that with them using him against, with the Black Knight. And certainly, I think because of comic books and video games, there's been a renewed idea of bringing together like a Midnight Suns sort of.
That's what you were supposed to do was Midnight Suns, but Morbius did trash.
Yeah.
Well, Morbius probably could have been for something else too. I mean, they could have been some type of Sinister Six sort of thing, considering they were pairing him with Vulture. Who knows the machinations of these studios? I don't.
Yeah, there was rumors that if Morbius did good, it was going to cross over with Blade because obviously in the comics and stuff.
Yeah, and they said the same thing with Venom, and look what they did for that new movie. They've completely disconnected him from anything regarding the MCU and Spider-Man.
Yes and no. We haven't seen the movie. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the trailer, how they basically showed that the goo ended up being in a different timeline. But that could have just been the effects of the whole snap and stuff. or the whole spell of Spider-Man until we see the actual thing of that, and when Spider-Man 4 actually comes out, because I don't think they're gonna scrap the whole goo and venom thing in Spider-Man 4.
Who knows?
Who knows?
I will also say though, I do leave more possibility to the idea of a Midnight Suns movie, considering there is also the rumor mill that, again, hashtag Summer of Ryan Gosling has reportedly been cast as Johnny Blaze / Ghost Rider.
No.
No. I know.
What?
What's wrong with that?
I'm just Ghost Rider.
I'm for it. I'm for it.
Why don't you want him as Ghost Rider? What's wrong with Ghost Rider? What? Tell me what.
Let me guess.
What do you got against Ryan? What do you got against? Tell me. What do you got against?
No, he was looking for Norman Reedus to be Ghost Rider.
I would rather.
Oh my god! You know how old? No, look. I do not want to see Norman Reedus on another motorcycle until I get my third Boondock Saints movie. Okay?
Well, forget your Boondock
Spent too
Saints.
much goddamn time with the Walking Dead zombies. He's got his own spin-off show that he has to worry about. I want my Boondocks movie. Then you can have him as whatever you want.
You know where your Boondock movie is? Over my trash can.
Oh.
That's where your Boondock movie is.
Oh. On that note, ladies and gentlemen. On that note.
We
can watch torch. I'm gonna flame this boy. I'm not.
But I do have a serious topic I do want to talk about real quick that I want added. So I listen to a lot of podcasts, and one of the podcasts that I listen to is Shannon Dory's. And I'd like everybody to keep Shannon.
Yeah, he does.
Yes, it's called Life is Clear. Life is Clear with Shannon Dory.
Okay, hold on. Let me just.
But she's got no. Let's be clear. Sorry, hold on. Let me read. Good thing we're not live. It's called Let's Be Clear with Shannon.
Well, okay, hold on. Let me give you some spotlight then. Hold on. Let me give you some spotlight.
So Let's Be Clear with Shannon. And I'm butchering her last name, Doherty. She has a podcast, and she has been doing it for like the last last couple months. But she had an episode that released today, and she revealed that her cancer is back. And for anyone that didn't know, she has been dealing with cancer since 2016. Thought it was, solved, and then it came back, and now she has to do chemo, and stuff that she is starting, I think, currently as of right now, because podcasts are usually recorded a couple days beforehand. But she has to do chemo now, and she is in stage 4 of her cancer. And anyone that doesn't know who Shannon is, shame on you. Look her up. She's from 90210, Charmed, all kinds of different things. Look her up. And if you're curious what her podcast is, it's basically why she says, she talks about the stuff that was rumors about her, and she spreads it all out. She talks about the drama of the 90210, talks about every different thing, so definitely go give that a watch. But it's Shannon Dory. You can look her up. Let's Be Clear. But yes, if you guys pray, keep her in your thoughts, because she is now going to be, she talked about she's going to be losing all her hair again because she has to do the chemo. So, and if you do have cancer, her podcast is a good one to listen to, because she brings cancer doctors and they talk about her treatments. And obviously she even clarifies that all cancers are different. So just because, what worked on hers doesn't mean it's going to work on you. But she's trying to open up a community to be able to help people with cancer. So yeah. So
no, that was very nice of you, man. That was very nice of you.
Yeah.
And
But,
of course, obviously, generationally, there are a lot of people that probably don't know who Shannon Doherty is.
Yeah.
I always confused her with Daphne Zuniga. That's my bad. But yeah, Heathers was a good movie. And
Mallrats.
Mallrats, absolutely, yes.
And she's
definitely up there for Kevin Smith's people.
Yeah, you'll find out in one of the episodes that Kevin Smith comes in. they talk about Mallrats and how Mallrats was trash. Like we do our cash and trash. It trashed in the bomb office, made them look bad. It actually ruined the career of Shannon's to do movies. Nobody wanted her in movies after that movie, how bad it bombed. And now it has the huge success that it does now, 20 years later. But yeah, it's very interesting, and she has all different kinds of different. And she talks about how she was in an abusive relationship during 90210, and that's why she wasn't on set a lot. And that's what got her to be fired. But she didn't know how to speak up at that time to say, "Hey, here's what's going on in my life."
Now, just out of curiosity, did she also go into any of the issues that had happened during Charm?
She does, and she addresses how and that's why this is not confirmed what I'm about to say, but it makes sense why you don't see Alyssa Milano and Shannon Doherty on the same day of a convention. They may be at the same con, but they're not at the same day. Like Alyssa may show up on a Friday, Shannon's there Saturday, Sunday. So that way everybody can still get their autographs. But yes, she dresses with Holly Combs, one of her co-stars, and how Holly is the reason why she did Charm to begin with, because Holly read the script and said Shannon, and she said, "I'm not looking." Shannon didn't want to look at the script because it was the same people that worked on 90210. Oh, where'd they?
I see. No. I just
Okay.
heard
Anyway. Okay. So anyways, so yes, Shannon didn't want to read the script because it was the same person that worked on 90210 that, fired her, and they ensured her that she wasn't going to get fired. And she does address the whole Alyssa thing about how Alyssa felt threatened, and it was basically Shannon gets fired or Alyssa Milano sues the company. So she goes full on depth about it, talks about her personal life. She basically, now that she is basically about to, I hope not pass away soon, but it really seems like everything she just wants it all to be in the air. She said, "I'm not a person to do a book like other people would, so I'm doing this podcast, and people ask questions. She does question things, and yeah, so."
All right, very good, very good.
So,
As long as she's being as healthy and happy as possible with whatever she's doing.
Yeah, and like I said, she's got to do the chemo again, and once
right.
Hopefully, she said she's got some test trial things, and but like I said, it's a whole different community. So if you guys want to go find it. But do we have anything else we want to talk about before we jump off?
I got nothing. I don't know about you or Day, but
no, nothing.
No, I don't.
All right,
I think. Well.
So who wants to be the one to sign us off this time?
Let it be Rob.
You two fight for it.
No, Rob.
Hey guys, so that's Ryan, that's Day, and I'm Rob, and this is Tales from the Film Set.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rob is right here. I mean, Ryan's right here.
We've been doing this for how many months? How many years?
Hold on. Here, I'll redo it. But here's the problem. Because I am pointing to you on my screen, but it's mirroring. So therefore...
Yes, but that's the thing. You have to have the cognitive idea of things being...
I don't have a brain. Okay. Hey, guys. That is Day.
Here we go.
Hey, guys. So that's Day. That's Ryan. And I'm Rob from Tales from the Film Sets. We'll see y'all later.
Thank God he got it right. Oh, my God.